Our job or our work can feel all-consuming at times, and that dynamic can often detract from a fulfilled, enjoyable life experience. So how can you best continue to enjoy this one life that you've been granted while still having to work 40 to 70 or 80 hours a week to provide for yourself and your family? I've got some tips for you. Let's talk about it. In this video, you're going to learn 3 tips that you can employ to still have enjoyment in life while working mad hours at your job. Now, these are tips that I have come to learn in founding and scaling a global consulting company, which, as you might imagine, has taken hours upon hours of my time and energy. So I'll start with what you got to get clear on, then what's important to identify, and lastly, what, when it's embraced, will most certainly boost your level of enjoyment and fulfillment from day to day. The first tip is to get clear on how work fits within your core values. Okay, I'm gonna keep this straight up real for you. So I probably devote more than 100 hours of my week to my work, whether that be actually doing the work or thinking about the work. And my wife will attest to this, and they probably might even estimate I do 120 hours a week. But although my work takes a lot of energy and can at times be exhausting, it's also incredibly fulfilling for me, because I am so grateful to say that I have created the type of work that is in the red hot center of what I value, that it's perfectly aligned with my core values in helping to make the world a better place. And so putting in that time, feeling that level of fatigue and that exhaustion is worth it for me, because it still contributes to my feeling very fulfilled and engaged in this one life that I've been gifted. And so I would advise you to strive to do the same. Get clear about what you most value in your life, right? And that might mean time spent with your loved ones, with family, with your kids. That might mean having complete autonomy, having the space, the empowerment to do whatever it is that you want, whether that be traveling, whether that be any hobbies. So maybe you're positioning your job or your work that's going to enable you to live and really bring those values to life. The more that you can understand how the work that you do, the job that you have, fits into fulfilling and bringing to life what you really care about and your values, it's going to help boost that level of fulfillment, even when you're doing the work, when you're at the job, when you're putting in the time. Tip number 2, identify and then focus on the best parts of your work. Ask yourself, what are the aspects of my work that really light me up, that give me energy as opposed to deplete my energy? And how can I find ways to focus in those areas? And maybe even work with your manager or leader, whoever kind of owns your work plan, to increase the amount of time of that type of work or those aspects of your work that you really enjoy. And of course, there's going to be those aspects of your work that do nothing but deplete your energy. Those types of tasks, those elements that you just have to do because it's a part of the job, it's a part of the work. Even though it drains you, you have to do it in order to continue successfully delivering your work and your job. But find those areas that not only deplete your energy, but also can fulfill your energy and give you energy back. And I will tell you that's 90 or 95% of the work that I get to do now. I am striving to kind of debunk what I see to be a myth of do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. This is incomplete, okay? When you do what you love, that thing that really lights you up, you're gonna work more than probably you've ever worked in your entire life. But the energy that you're giving is actually going to be returned to you, because that work, you'll find fulfillment, it's aligned with your core values, and you'll want to put in the energy because you're getting so much back. And so at the end of a 14, 15, 16-hour day, even though you're feeling exhaustion, that level of fulfillment is still there because you know you're devoting your time, your energy, and your effort to something that you care about and something that's aligned with your true values. By the way, if you feel that you're in a position that you've attained that, right? You're in a place where you feel fulfilled in your work, comment below by maybe how you've done that or what's fulfilling you in your work. Let's encourage each other. Let's allow the community to build each other up. Because I know there might be some of you sitting there thinking, good gracious, I'm nowhere close to that. But it doesn't mean you can't get there. So go ahead and comment below if you feel that you've reached that or there's certain aspects of your work that certainly lead to fulfillment. All right, let's get back into it. Tip number 3, embrace your work as a choice within a fulfilled life experience. Placing our time and our talent and our energy into something that in turn creates financial stability for ourselves and our loved ones, for so many of us, is just a part of life. But where we place that talent, that time, that energy is a choice. And look, I get it. Sometimes we find ourselves in a place where that doesn't feel like a choice. It feels a lot less like a choice and more of a necessity, something that we have to do in order to get through the day, a job we have to take in order to keep paying our bills, to keep our lights on, to keep the ones around us healthy. And if you're in that position, if you're in that place, what I would invite you into is to believe and trust that it is still a choice. And these choices do not define you, right? They do not define your worth. Your worth is separate than these things that feel like a necessity, than this job that you feel like you have to go into in order to keep living the type of life that you want, right? That's not tied to your intrinsic value and your intrinsic worth. So when you get to a place where you're able and you feel like you can make a different choice and maybe explore a different job, know that you can take that talent, take that value and the experience that you've garnered wherever you're at today to get to that next position. Your value is not tied to the job, to the work that you do. So speaking of choices, I actually have something else that I want to gift to you that I hope will add a bit of value. I actually want to gift you a free chapter of my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. Now, this introductory chapter is going to introduce you to this growth mindset that I've created called Change Enthusiasm, that's rooted in those really difficult emotions we experience when going through change, when making those types of choices that feel like a necessity, something that we have to do just to get through the day, and how to transform that energy into fuel to keep growing, to keep evolving. And I want to gift that to you today for free. All you got to do is click on the link below. I want to make sure you have the data, the research, the insights to accelerate your growth through even your toughest change challenges. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.